What's this? DC animated movies. Oh, I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything for the next video.
Hello everyone, it is me, Balin Seth, and today I want to talk about Marvel and DC, the comic book company kings. For nearly a century, both Marvel and DC would create some of the most iconic to ever hit the comic book pages. And around 40 years after the comic book companies were created, Hollywood decided that their characters had potential to be on the big screen. With DC having the Superman movie franchise, along with the 1989 Batman film and its sequel Batman Returns, and especially the Dark Knight trilogy, along with the more recent success of the 2017 Wonder Woman film, the 2018 Aquaman film, and the 2019 Shazam movie. And for Marvel, well, besides the gold rush that is the MCU, they've also had several good movies with the X-Men franchise, including the first two X-Men movies, X-Men Days of Future Past, the Deadpool films, Logan, and Blade. Well, the first one at least. And speaking of the MCU, DC's also tried to make a cinematic universe based off their comic book characters, but unfortunately have not been as successful as Marvel, mainly because they rushed it all with, Iron Man and then Civil War, or at least that's their DC version, you know what I mean. But what if I were to tell you that there actually is a good DC cinematic universe out there? It's just a little harder to find than you realize. And no, I'm not talking about the Lego DC Universe films that go straight to DVD, or the CW shows, or the DCAMU. Actually, that's what we're talking about. I am not joking. Thank you guys. So today I will be explaining to you the chronological order of 15 movies, one short film that comes with the film, and a movie that is just piles of multiple Constantine shots. And by the way, if you really want the information that I got to do this video, go down to these videos. They're really good. Anyway, let's get started. What's up? Okay, now the first movie in the DC universe is Flashpoint Paradox. Makes sense because the movie creates the universe. Pretty much, if you're unfamiliar with the storyline, then pretty much Flash finds himself in an alternate reality where the DC universe has changed. So he has to help this universe save itself and then go back in time and prevent any of it from happening, while also trying to fix his main universe. And some of the problems that have occurred in this universe is that Bruce Wayne died in the back alleyway, while his parents, Thomas became Batman and Martha became Joker. I love that so much. And also, Superman is very skinny. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war with each other. Cyborg is leader of the Justice League. And some heroes are villains and villains are heroes. We got that? Good. Amazing. Great. Now, the timeline is a little bit confusing, but I think I got it, maybe? I hope so. Okay, so here's what I got. The beginning of the movie takes place in Timeline A, and then some time travel shenanigans happen, and then that causes Timeline A to become Timeline B. So then, after Flash is done with doing what he's doing, he helps Timeline B by going back in time and fixing a majority of the changes that were caused at Timeline A, and of course, because he probably didn't fix it all, or the fixes caused other problems, that created Timeline C, which is the DCAMU, or DCAMU. It is officially called DCAMU. I'm not sorry. And so the basic history of all other DC characters happen, and you hopefully just have to know them, because the next film in the timeline is The Son of Batman. So pretty much in this movie we find out, Batman's basic origin. He went to Ra's al Ghul's place to get trained, he left, and of course he became Batman when he got back. And during 10 years, he got Robin, who eventually became Nightwing as soon as he became an adult. And after those 10 years, Talia, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, explains that pretty much they had chemistry, is what I'll say for now. And they had a biological son named Damian Wayne. And of course, by the end of the movie, Talia leaves and Damian becomes the next Robin. And yes, technically Tim and Jason don't exist in this universe. I'm not sorry. Well, I am, but you know what I mean. And shortly after the events of Son of Batman, the events of Justice League War take place, which was actually a follow-up to the after-credits scene in Flashpoint, where a bunch of parademons come in from a boom tube. So pretty much in this movie, parademons come to Earth and try to kill everybody. So 7 superheroes come together and try to stop them. Darkseid's there, and by the end of the movie, the parademons are defeated and Darkseid leaves. And of course, Shazam, who back then was still called Captain Marvel, decided they should be called the Super 7, and no one agrees on it. And a week after the events of Justice League War, the events of Throne of Atlantis take place. So Throne of Atlantis is pretty much Aquaman joining the Justice League, and the Justice League fighting Aquaman's half-brother to save the world from an Atlantean war against the human race. And in the middle of the movie, Batman and Green Lantern mention something with Scarecrow, and that leads up to the short Nightwing and Robin, where Nightwing and Robin deal with Scarecrow. And also there's an owl guy who's cold, but we're not going to talk about that till we need to. And by the way, all of the movies I've previously mentioned all take place between a week or two of each other. Well, maybe not Batman, but you get what I mean. And several months later, the events of Batman vs. Robin take place, and pretty much they fight the Owl Cult. So pretty much Robin and Batman fight Weird Al until eventually Weird Al gets away and Robin is on the chase to him. But when Robin finally gets to Weird Al, he is murdered by Weird Cult Owl Guy, and Batman assumes Robin killed him, so a bunch of stuff later happens, and Batman and Robin finally fight. It's like Batman v Superman, but actually good. And by the end of the movie, Batman finds out Robin was telling the truth, and they take down the Cult Owl Guy and the Owl Cult. And several months later, the events of Batman Bad Blood take place, which pretty much Batman gets kidnapped and the Bat family has to save him, including Batwoman, Nightwing, and Robin, which I already showed an image earlier of him. I don't really need to show another image of him. And it's revealed that the villain of the movie who kidnapped Batman is actually a clone of Damian created by Talia al Ghul. And also there's tons of other clones of Damian that Talia created, and this is all just Talia being Talia. It's also cool to see nuns with machine guns that are like her henchmen. That's cool, I guess. But by the end of the movie, Batman saved, Talia, I don't know where she is, and, the Bat family wins, as usual, because it's the Bat family. Guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop right here, because the video's starting to get too long, and also because there's 15 movies, and I've mentioned at least, almost half of them. So I'm just going to stop right here and make a part 2 to this video. I really hope that's cool. And yeah. And also this is kind of like the end of the phase 1 of the DCAMU.